A very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa. Now, news in details. More than 50% of the asylum seekers received by Rwanda from Libya have found European and North American countries to host them, and the rest say that they are happy with the life they are living while they are waiting to get host countries. This comes after 3 years since Rwanda started receiving immigrants and asylum seekers from Libya who reside in the Gashora camp located in Bugesera district.
Abubakar Ishaka Abdul Karim, 35 years old, from Sudan, is among the immigrants who live in the Gashora camp. His journey is unusual, as he has spent close to 20 years away from his country after fleeing the war in Darfur. From someone who fled at an early age, he sometimes gets emotional when telling his story.
I am in the Darfur. I'm not in the Khartoum. Yes, the Darfurian, we say, as you say, in the Darfur is a marginalized reason, not as like the Khartoum, you know, because Sudan is full of determination in this. Sudan, Darfur is not developed as like Khartoum. Even so, when the civil war started in the 2003s, they are born in all the villages. The people has been living there, and the mosques has been. I see in the mosques when in that time I am 17 years. Something happens in my eyes. I'm still to remember. I'm not forget it. My big brother also been dead in that time.
Abubakar Ishaka Abdul Karim first fled to Chad and lived there for 10 years with his family. Later, he decided to go into gold mining in the Sahara Desert on the Chad side, where he acquired the money he thought would help him get to Europe through Libya.
When you try to cross the sea and they brought you, they put you in the prison, maybe you have only 1 meal in the day. And so that is, they will to beat you, and then you must pay the money, and then you get out from prison. If you don't have money, I think so you will be there. As they say, sometimes they take your phone. They must say, call your mom and your dad. They are sending you money, and then we let you. When you know, but there's your mom and dad is their circumcision so bad, and when you call them, you're not able to get anything from them. And so you might go into the market, someone is stop with you to take your phone, take your money you have in your pocket.
He shares the testimony with Julom from Eritrea, who also lives in the Gashora camp after spending 3 years in Libya.
The life in Libya was very hard. Explaining it is very hard for me right now, because I spent 3 years living in the darkness in that country. Except putting us to prison, they even raped us. The saddest part is that they even rape pregnant mothers. I tried to cross the ocean illegally, but we were not lucky with it, because they caught and arrested us for 10 months. It wasn't easy, because it was an underground prison, and it was very cold. That life was really hard. The place where we were eating from was close to a toilet. When time for eating reached, because we were very many and we had no plates, they could put hot food in your hands, and sometimes you could get burnt, plus even the food was rotten. The only chance to get out of that prison was when a person had extremely lost weight. For ladies it was 28 kgs and for men it was 35 kgs. That is when they could release you and throw you out with nowhere to go.
However, later on, the sun rose again for them, and they rested. Mrs. Julom and Abubakar Ishaka Abdul Karim are now safe and sound in the Gashora camp in Bugesera district. When they arrived, they were first diagnosed and treated for any disease, and others helped to recover from the trauma caused by what they have been through, all free of charge, as there is also a clinic in the camp that takes care of their lives on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah, I find Rwanda is everything to me. Good, and so on. This country is so peacefully, safe, everything full. So that this is good for me.
In addition to receiving medical care and accommodation, Those staying in the Gashora camp are provided with breakfast, lunch and dinner, and children and the sick are given a special diet. There is also a program of learning foreign languages like English, computer training programs, traffic rules and driving tests, all of which make them enjoy life and their host, Rwanda.
I love Rwanda very much. The country cared about me and gave me peace and security and everything else. There is nothing I can compare to Rwanda. The country is beautiful. So is its people.
Life in Rwanda is good. There is peace and security. There is simple life with no chaos. The country has a conducive weather and Rwandans are very welcoming. I have nothing to blame Rwanda. Not only these asylum seekers appreciate Rwanda for its contribution on resolving the problem faced by refugees and asylum seekers in Libya, but also countries and international organizations confirm that this is an act that strengthens the value of finding solutions for Africans, as Joseph Borrell, the Vice President of the European Union Commission, announced when he visited the Gashora camp in April 2021.
It's an impressive example of inter-African solidarity. It's very moving to see these people here. They are much better than in Libya. They have a hope. So we have to thank the Rwanda government and the Rwandan people. We have to thank the Rwanda government and the Rwandan people for their support.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, also appreciates Rwanda's contribution to finding a solution to the refugee and asylum seekers crisis in Libya, as UNHCR High Commissioner Filippo Grandi emphasized when he visited the Gashora camp in April 2021.
As you probably know, this center was born out of an idea of President Kagame. This was the time when the whole world could see on the media the terrible images of the detention centers in Libya, where many people were suffering from all over Africa, many different African countries. I think President Kagame was at the time President of the African Union. So he made a statement, he said Rwanda wanted to help. I really want to express my gratitude to President Kagame and to the government and the people of Rwanda for having accepted to take this responsibility. It is a huge responsibility to have hundreds of people here on your soil, in your nation, and host them during this difficult time. And we are fully engaged, as I have seen today, in finding solutions.
The Minister in charge of Emergency Management, Kaisire Marie Solange, reiterates that the government of Rwanda will continue to cooperate with the UNHCR and other partners in this program. In September 2019, Rwanda received the first batch of 56 asylum seekers from Libya. Since then, 11 groups of 1,279 people from Sudan, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, Chad, South Africa, Cameroon, and Nigeria were received in the country. By the time we prepared this report, about 676 asylum seekers had already found countries of Europe, USA, and Canada to host them, and the rest, 619, are still waiting to meet the requirements to go to the countries that will accept them.
Now, moving ahead, consumers of foods that have increased in prices say that they have stopped or reduced how much they consume or purchase, while others are still looking for affordable alternatives. Economists believe that the changing consumer behavior as a result of price stability is a healthy strategy for consumers. Isabel Masozera has this report.
Over the past few days, there was a rise in the prices of potatoes and beans in various markets in Rwanda. Today, even the traders believe when they sell to one person, they lose another. The prices increased a lot. They doubled. Those that can afford to buy, go ahead and buy. Those that can't, buy nuts instead. But nuts have also become expensive. Those with children come, but they cannot buy a lot because they find that the prices have doubled. That way, they have to reduce the amount that they are buying. Currently, the prices of potatoes and beans have doubled in a short time. Some consumers find it difficult to afford and have resorted to reducing the amount they purchase, while others have turned to alternative foods. Economists point out that there are many reasons for the overall increase in prices, including the impact of COVID-19 on the economy. The war in Ukraine has also had a special effect on the outputs and transportation of goods, as well as climate change, which has reduced the yield of crops. That is why consumers should be intentional when choosing what to shop.
You might want things but need a number of them. That's why we call prioritizing needs. So when price increase, you have to be intentional. When you have made more money, then you can afford many things.
The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning has advised consumers to respect market prices.
The products that have increased in price have an impact on the general population. The money you made before must increase to continue affording what you used to consume. You have to consume less so that you can use less money. It has an impact on affordability.
Agriculture in Rwanda accounted for 25% of the country's GDP in the second quarter of this year. Only its production depends on the alternating rain and sun. The National Center for Meteorological Sciences recently announced that in this rainy season, there will not be enough rain as usual, which will affect the harvest. Isabel Masozera, RwandaTV News.
The Southern Province Administration noted that the process of solving injustice issues that were brought to the light by residents during the previous presidential citizen outreach in Ruhango and Nyamagabe districts is underway. Among these issues include Mukankaka Charlotte's claim that her land was stolen from her. Adam Squizera.
On 26th August, on his second-day visit in Southern Province, when the President of the Republic was discussing with the citizens who gathered at Nyagisenyi Stadium in Nyamagabe district, Mukankaka Charlotte brought to him an issue of injustice she faced, where her land was stolen by her husband, who sold it to Nyanza prison, yet it belonged to the whole family. The President of the Republic ordered that this issue should be solved within 1 week.
Meya, kiriya kibazo urakizi warakicaranye gusa wiberaho wibera meya urakihorera.
Mayor, did you know this issue before and just left it unsolved? Your Excellency, she did not tell me that she doesn't have where to live. Why didn't you ask her about that? For you just sit to wait people to come to your office to tell you their issues. Why can't make efforts to know problems that people are facing, or begin by observing the problems she presents to you and know the other issues she's facing? Your Excellency, I received her many times for that issue, but I will consider this one as well. How could you receive her many times and fail to ask her about her living conditions and the people she lives with? I will consider it, Your Excellency.
Kibazo
I want someone to follow up this issue. I want it to be solved within 1 week, and if not, I will ask about it myself, and if not done, those responsible will face trouble. In a recent press conference with the administration of Southern Province, the governor of this province, Alice Kaitesi, explained that all the problems related to injustice that was presented to the President of the Republic during the citizen outreach was solved, including that of Mukankaka.
What I can say is that we try to help her to improve her living conditions. About her case, it's still processing in courts. We can wait for them.
The land Mukangaka says was stolen from her by her husband and sold to the Nyanza prison for more than 13 million. It's currently used as prison's agricultural land, and it's where prison guards' accommodations are built. Explains that spending almost 20 years in courts led her to poverty.
I'm that person who can't even afford to pay the insurance. I can't count how many times I came in Kigali to look for the senior administrations.
Commenting on this issue, the President of the Republic pointed at this lady who is a genocide against Tutsi survivor should be getting some help since she is needy.
They gave me 8 bags of cement, 11 roofing for the kitchen I was building, and 2 house doors and windows.
Mukangaka Charlotte, who is 56 years, currently lives in Muchingo sector, Nyanza district. Even though her case is still in courts, she believes that she will get justice. In general, the citizen outreach that took place in Southern Province on 25th and 26th August, the province administration noted that 15 issues have so far been resolved. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Welcome back from that short break. And as we move ahead to other matters, residents of Musanze district stand by the view that the seed of divisionism and discrimination will find it difficult to infiltrate their steadfast spirit of unity and reconciliation, which was conveyed as the month of peace and unity was launched in the district. Precious Chidezi with more.
During a 55-minute-long discussion, a history professor by the names of Muhire Wellington shared a broad explanation of how the seed of division was sown into the Rwandan society. Unity among Rwandans is ever present, but that was hindered by colonialists and the government that came after them. Our current government is anti-division and continually conveys the oneness we share as Rwandans. Nduwayesu Narcisse, who was a perpetrator of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, and Mutuimana Chantal, who is a genocide survivor, both stand by the view that their unity is impenetrable. Those who actively participated in the genocide have been arrested, and those who survived lost loved ones, but they're healing and there is simply no room for division. We can't be persuaded into division anymore thanks to the progress we've made so far and the leadership we have. The Minister of Interior points out that the country's tragic history has taught Rwandans a valuable lesson. Rwandans are being urged to acknowledge that the horrid history of division was able to happen because the cultural values of unity and togetherness were forsaken, and these values ought to be rebuilt. Furthermore, he referenced the case of those intent on disrupting national security through volcanoes, which was followed by the firm reminder that the unity among Rwandans is unshakable. Those who intend to disrupt national security should let those dreams go, because the progress in regards to the beliefs and togetherness of Rwandans cannot be undone, especially when the youth stands at the forefront of this movement. From 2019 to 2022, 25 people have been persecuted for genocide ideology, and Rwandan citizens and residents have been urged not to tolerate anyone with the same intent of division responsible for the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Precious Chidezi, RTV News.
And on behalf of the entire news production team that made it happen, many thanks for being with us on this edition of Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa. Stay safe and have a fruitful week ahead. Goodbye.